On this edition of Newswatch 18, Winter Storm Q has engulfed the entire state of Iowa. We'll give you the details.
ISU hopes to add 3 new course programs to its catalog.
Hey, and I'm going to be keeping you informed about this winter storm heading our way into the Ames area.
And the Cyclone men came away with an all-important road win in Waco last night. I'll have more for you in sports. This is Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Welcome to the Thursday, February 21st, Newswatch 18. I'm Elizabeth Kramer.
And I'm Chris Kelly.
Winter Storm Q has moved into the Ames area. The storm is expected to bring anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow with overnight winds coming Thursday. Classes and events are canceled. However, the Dierks Bentley and Miranda Lambert concert at Hilton will still go on as scheduled. We now bring in meteorologist Sam Schreier, who will give us a quick update on the storm. Sam?
Thanks. We do have this big low pressure bringing this winter storm into our area right now. It looks like this may not be as high of accumulations as we were thinking yesterday or the day before, and that's because we do have some dry air wrapping back into the system. So if you take a look at your current clouds and radar from Fusion right now, we do have a decently strong band working its way towards Des Moines, but just general broad areas of snow right now in Ames. And I'll tell you more about that during my weather segment.
Thanks, Sam. Iowa State hopes to add 3 new programs to its curriculum in the coming years. Masters of Finance, a major in Public Relations, and a minor in Landscape Management have been named as the next academic advantage at ISU. The programs made it through last week's Faculty Senate meeting and now wait for full approval. The university will give final word on the Landscape Management minor by March 12th. The Board of Regents still needs to make a decision regarding finance and public relations.
Wondering about the safety of studying abroad? ISU Study Abroad Center offers all the information you need about safety concerns. The Study Abroad Center handbook covers topics from pre-departure orientation to other safety-related issues. It also covers concerns about traffic warnings.
Well, what we do when we develop programs is we always conduct a site visit. So, you know, we have somebody who's there who's talking to universities, who is looking, if for instance it's a group program taught by our own faculty, we're looking at lodgings and working with companies and bus companies and coach companies, whatever, so that we have a real good sense of the location.
As part of their mission statement, SAC will develop programs that provide opportunities for students, faculty, and staff to explore other countries. In developing the program, students will be well prepared for their academic adventures abroad.
Iowa State faculty joined forces to help give kids healthier foods in Iowa schools. Scotty, Strehlow, and Chandler Nisenson have the story.
Food options are on the brink of change in K-12 schools, and Iowa State faculty are involved. Since 2008, school cafeteria lunches have seen improved guidelines on a federal level. Now the focus is on vending machines and a la carte to follow suit.
It's to create more of a level playing field so that what's being offered to the youth in schools, is healthy options.
Iowa State students agree that this could be highly beneficial.
If it was me and when I was back in grade school and high school, I would have really appreciated if we had a lot more healthier options instead of the whole candy bars. I mean, yeah, they're good once in a while, but I really think healthy stuff would be a lot better.
I mean, I have friends that are still in high school, and I'm sure that they would be okay with it because they don't want to just eat junk food all the time.
With these new regulations in progress, it's important to remember the main goal is improving public health.
We're talking about what people have available to them to eat, and some people think that, we're infringing upon personal rights. What we're really trying to accomplish is trying to role model and provide an environment that makes the healthy choice the easy choice.
This is Scott Strehlow with Chandler Nisenson, ISUtv.
The team hopes the new federal guidelines will be in effect nationwide by fall of 2013.
One Iowa State professor has played a big role in making an out-of-this-world discovery. It was announced yesterday that the Kepler spacecraft identified a small Mercury-like planet located outside of our solar system. Professor of Physics and Astronomy Steve Kowaller was one of several team members who researched the planet's oscillations to discover its size. The planet, named Kepler 37b, orbits the star Kepler 37 along with 2 other planets. The Kepler spacecraft has helped researchers with space discoveries since March 2009.
Visha recently announced its lineup for this year's concert, but the Student Union Board recently announced 2 more acts for this year's festivities. The free concert will feature performances by indie singer Tristan Prettyman, American Idol Season 9 winner Lee DeWise, and pianist Gillette Johnson. The concert will take place in the Great Hall of the Memorial Union and is expected to start at 9 p.m. following a Cyclone Idol.
Variety sweepstakes performances will take the stage Friday night in the Great Hall of the Memorial Union. 6 groups will move on to the finals in 2 separate categories in hopes of winning this year's talent competition. This year's theme is Battle of the Ballads. The tradition of varieties has spanned over 80 years. Iowa State students can purchase tickets at the M Shop online or at the doors for $10. Non-student tickets will go for $12. The event starts at 6 and 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Saturday. And now at the desk is Dani Rondeau. Dani, we had a big weekend or big night in Cyclone Sports, the men's basketball team. What do we have coming up?
Well, we have the Big 12 championships for track and field this weekend. And so I'll tell you all about that and more after this break. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Dani Rondeau, and I got your Cyclone Sports update. The 18-8 Cyclone men's basketball team buckled down in Waco, Texas last night to beat the 16-10 Baylor Bears. Iowa State's 87-82 victory was a much-needed road win in conference play. McGee tied his career high with a 22-point showing, and he wasn't the only Cyclone in a groove last night. A total of 4 players had double figures for Iowa State, led by McGee and Melvin Ejim, who had a double-double of 20 and 12. Ejim now leads the Big 12 with 11 double-doubles this year. You can catch the Cyclones this weekend versus Texas Tech in Hilton at 12:45 on the Big 12 Network. The Iowa State track and field team set their sights high as they host the 2013 Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Championships this weekend at the Lead Recreation Center. ISUTV's Mitch Gerber gives us a preview of this weekend's action.
The Iowa State men's and women's track team takes aim at the Big 12 Championships this weekend. Assistant coach Nate Weens and junior hurdler Ryan Sander tell us about the meet names.
Well, I mean, it's just like any other venue. When you get a run at home, there's a little bit more excitement. You're more familiar with the facility, the eating venues, I got to sleep in my own bed. There's a lot of things, the intangibles you kind of don't think about that's behind the scenes that we enjoy.
I run at this track every day. I'll get to sleep in my bed the night before. I do like that. We haven't had that for a big meet like this before, so I'm excited to see what that brings.
Having the Big 12 Championships at Iowa State means more than just being at home for the ISU track team. Head coach Corey Immels says having a runner like Betsy Sena impacts the team headed into a major meet.
Yeah, I think anytime you show up to a meet and you have an individual like Betsy on your team, it's a sense of pride and a sense of, she's going to go out and do what she does. But she's a difference maker, but it's those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th places that are going to add up at the end of the day and be the difference in the team scores.
Another aspect to this weekend's success are the ISU throwers. Freshman thrower Jan Joiskeda says he hopes to have better success at this weekend's championships.
We're finally through over 18 meters, 59.3. And the Big 12 championships, I pretty much want to, I want to throw a little bit further than that. Just PR again, hopefully over 60 feet. That's kind of like my goal for the indoor season. And then how many points that gets me, I'm satisfied with that.
The coaches weigh in on what it will take for ISU to succeed at the Big 12 championships.
Everybody's got to show up on the day, and as of right now, we're excited to see what that process looks like.
5 or 6 points could make the difference between being in the top half and not. So I think both teams have the potential to do really well. It's just a matter of, it doesn't matter what you've done to this point, it's what you do on those 2 days.
Mitch Gerber, ISUtv.
Competition begins at 10 a.m. tomorrow with the multi-events. Adult admission is $7 for 1 day or $10 for a 2-day pass. You can listen to the competition at cyclones.com. The Iowa State women's softball team travels to the Carolina Classic this weekend, where they will take on some unfamiliar teams. The Cyclones will play North Carolina, George Washington, Iona, and Penn State. On the 4-game weekend, the Cyclones will be facing George Washington and Iona for the first time ever, while refamiliarizing their game with the Nittany Lions and Tar Heels, whom they haven't seen since 1997. State senior Erica Miller will lead the offensive attack this weekend with a 481 batting average, 11 RBIs on the season, and a perfect 4 for 4 with the bases loaded. Cyclones play their first game on Saturday against George Washington at 8:30 a.m. The Cyclones women's gymnastic team travels to Lincoln this weekend to face the 9th-ranked Nebraska Huskers and 16th-ranked Boise State Broncos this Friday. Nebraska leads the all-time series against Iowa State with a record of 92 wins, 23 losses, and 1 tie. The Cyclones take on the Broncos for only the second time in school history. They lost to Boise State in Tucson back in 1998. Iowa State has improved its season's best score at every meet this year and are coming off a great performance in a win against Northern Illinois last Friday. Junior Michelle Sheely's performance looks as promising as she tallied a career high on bars and a season high on beam last week. And that's all I've got for your sports update. So Sam, tell us more about this huge storm we're having.
Well, this storm, again, like I said, a little bit slower, a little bit less snow in it. And I'll tell you more about that after the break, so stay tuned for Newswatch 18. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is meteorologist Sam Schreier. So we have a bit of a storm rolling in right now. Current conditions though in Ames right now, we do have some flurries falling, about 22 degrees, and the wind is a little gusty, about east-northeast at 18 miles per hour. So it is getting pretty hard to see out there. I wanted to show you what we've got for warnings in store right now, mostly through Iowa. Here, Polk County right now, winter storm warnings are mostly in place throughout Iowa. Those are going to be kicked out of here at about 12 p.m. tomorrow, and then the rest of our time is about, a few winter storm advisories here just hanging on to the eastern and northern part of the state. But most of us under a nice long winter storm warning, hanging around till tomorrow. Now, our accumulations won't be quite as high as we thought earlier, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Current temps around the state right now, mid to low 20s and a few upper teens in the northern part of the state here. So it was going to be colder, but this isn't too bad, really. It doesn't feel too horrible out there, even with that gusty wind up there to around 20 to 30 miles per hour in some parts of the state. So about 20 in Mason City, 21 Waterloo. Again, close to 30 for gusts here in the northeastern part of the state. Most of those, though, in the mid-teens for your winds right now. So it is gusty, and those are out of the east currently right now. Tomorrow's lows will be seeing mid-20s to, again, teens through tonight. Mason City about 19 at Fort Dodge there. So pretty cold, but it could have been worse with this system. Tomorrow's highs throughout the region. Most of us are going to be about the same degree, really, mid-20s. Iowa actually reaching some of the warmer parts of the state, and off to the east of Iowa, 30s there in Illinois. So pretty nice across the region. And again, as we zoom into Iowa alone, mostly mid-20s throughout the state, a little colder off to the western border, about 23 degrees there in Sioux City, about 25 in Council Bluffs. Now, let's really get into the meat of this winter storm here, taking a look at clouds and radar throughout the region right now. So we have this low that's tracking its way across the southern part of the state. And the reason we didn't see such a high amount of snow accumulations like we thought we were going to see is we had some dry air moving its way into the state. This blue arrow is where we had some of that sneak in, and we had a dry slot actually pop up through the storm. So our accumulations are still going to be anywhere from about 4 to 7 inches or so for some parts of Iowa, but much less than what we previously thought, which is good for those driving around and for the snow plows. Taking a little bit closer, the heavier bands of snow kind of move their way through. Right now, Ames and Des Moines under a little lighter batch of snow right now, but we do have some more heavy bands working their way in, and they'll continue to work in for the next hour or so. Through the night tonight, we'll have mostly up to an inch or so of snow accumulations, a lot lighter throughout the night, and nothing as intense as what we saw about 7 o'clock or so. The reason for that, again, is this big low-pressure system slowly working its way across the state right now. This is going to be about Friday morning, still dumping some wraparound precip on us, but that's going to move out of our area. Iowa remains mostly snow-free, though, Friday afternoon. And behind this system, though, we have a big low pressure starting to sneak its way, and it's going to come into your screen here in the next few hours. And that's going to be Saturday at about 6 p.m. That's going to work its way in, and we're going to have a lot coming up now. Here's tonight's 20 degrees. Tomorrow, again, few snow accumulations. As we take a look at our extended outlook, we see a little bit of a chance there for Monday as far as snow and rain mix, but the temperatures look to be in about the mid-30s. And that's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
There's a new minor on campus that's sure to get film enthusiasts excited. Giovanna, Rajao, and Ethan Crane have more.
It's been said that movies are universal, a way to understand the world and ourselves. Students at Iowa State are putting this idea into practice with a new minor that's being offered in the World Languages and Cultures department. Basil Rain, sophomore in history, said she enrolled in a Russian film course as a way to get an overview of history in a different format.
I think everybody should break out of their box every once in a while. And I think a film class on history is a good way to do it because it's not a textbook and it's not something just boring.
Zora Zimmerman, the Associate Dean of the College of LAS, said the implementation of this minor is a chance for students to become more knowledgeable of what's going on in countries through film.
The value and the importance of film in any society and in culture cannot be underestimated because it is an influence on behavior, on decisions that are made, on what's important, what's not important. It feeds into the political agenda. It really brings to the forefront what moves a society forward.
Although the minor is fairly new, faculty members are confident that film studies could potentially become a major offered to students here on campus.
I think if there's enough interest, enough enrollment in the minor, that will happen. It will just naturally happen. It will take another maybe 5 years or so before it can occur. But that seems to be the future.
With Ethan Crane, I'm Giovanna Rajao, ISUtv.
For more information, check out the World Languages and Cultures website. And that's all we have for you for this edition of Newswatch 18.
Tune in Tuesday night at 8 for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great and safe weekend, Ames.